It's second down.
It's now second and 10.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. Again, it's Trubisky. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But
now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And getting our first update now from Nashville. And it's the Titans who are off to the early lead in that ball game. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for first and 10.
It's just me and you. Check, check, check. Sponge. No. Slam.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to air one out. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
45. Mike. Delta. That's what I do. Ready, go.
Second and 5. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
At the 26-yard line.
180! Check 52's the mic. Blue. Army. Red, go. Buzz. Be ready.
Now Trubisky. Blitz coming, and down he goes. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Ball. Hey, alert. Hey, orbit. 52. Watch the screen. Like 52.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Kill. Check 3. You're out. Check 9. Joker.
Back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Beasley. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. This time, Trubisky will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Check 13. Alert. Check 50. Check 50. Back.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. Flush to his right. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Elsewhere, NFL scoreboard, 3rd quarter now in Tennessee. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL.
18, chopper.
Check the backer.
They'll start the drive with Drake. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
At the 39-yard line.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
In the face.
They'll set up to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. 7 yards on the quick slant and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
We got 3.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lock it. Switch.
They'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Kill. Leo, 24. Check 24. What happened?
And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
We got double up. Hey,
Right back to him on first down. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
You got 25, check 25, check 25. Shit. Recon, 132 fight. Check 37, check 37. Slam, slam, slam. Check, check, lucky, lucky, lucky. Safe, safe, safe. Swiss, gone. Rush in, ready, go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 4th down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play.
The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. The 40, past the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Got to be feeling confident they're going to get off the schneid. An old coach told me he calls this a relief win. 0-3 would have been bad. You get to 1 and 2, you feel a lot better, don't you?
That is so true, and you feel better about yourself. You think to yourself, okay, we're still in the playoff hunt. We're not out of it at 0-3. But the other part, too, it leads to doubt about your system, leads to doubt about your coaches. They don't have to worry about that now. They can move forward.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
You got tight. You got tight right there. Check 99. Check 99. Check safety. Check safety.
Now back to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Leonard Floyd picks up his second sack of the afternoon. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. He'll look to throw. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Pick it up.
Under crunch. 45's the mic. He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Out. Watch the ship.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a 1st down. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Alert. Shit.
1st down, a run with Cohen. And some strong running. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check 55, Mike.
We ain't giving up nothing today. Hey, 18.
Oh, Trubisky going to throw. Flushed out right. This will be caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. He got 29 yards that time. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. From the gun, it's Trubisky. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
He's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for Miami, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the